Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your host, Joaquin Thompson, coming to you live from the Super Bowl 53 NFL experience. Had to find a quiet spot to kind of, get in and start doing the show for tonight. And it's an incredible experience because had some technical difficulties. Want to shout out my producer. Today he wasn't able to get into the studio, so we had to go live on remote location, and nothing bigger than the Super Bowl. So what I plan to do was just come in, talk to some of the same topics that I was going to discuss anyway, because I think it's so timely. We're on the last day of January. So a lot of things that we said we was going to start doing in 2019. Want to make sure that we stay in the course. We want to make sure that we have those goals in front of us. We want to make sure that we're striving for bigger things. We're not letting 2018, 17, all that stuff that's behind us, just letting that go. So tonight, I want to talk about a couple of things. One, and before I get started, even when we're on location, I always have to give this disclaimer. The Daily Bread Radio Show is a show about personal finance. And it's a show about personal finance from a spiritual perspective. We don't do religion, but we always do God, because we believe that it's only one entity in the universe, and that's God. So we don't do religion, because when you do religion, things get all twisted up. People start, saying what they believe in. So we just kind of leave that alone. So the good thing about that is, as long as we lean on God, everything is going to be okay. So with the Super Bowl experience, want to bring that into play, and a lot of people may be asking, like, what does that have to do with personal finance? Everything. Just think about how many people are, from a personal finance standpoint, just saying, hey, I want to go enjoy something like the Super Bowl. Got to get tickets, got to get flights, go to hotels. And the thing about that is, this is something that I want you all to start thinking about. We all have to start thinking like a capitalist. You have to think like a capitalist. And what I mean by that is, we can't just be consumers, but what we need to do is put ourselves in position to have a product or a service in some type of business, so that way we can offer products and services to the masses and make, an income from that. So that way we can start setting up our legacy for generations to come. So I'm gonna share a quick story with you all about my two grandkids. I got two grandkids. One is 8, one is 4. So I'm always, not always, I guess you would say always, I ain't gonna lie. Always with my 8-year-old, we have a lot of conversations about finance, personal finance, because I really believe that as we're teaching our kids about reading and writing and manners, yes ma'am, no sir, man, it's every kind of police. I've never seen this many police people. I don't even know what to call them. I've seen Homeland Security, State Trooper, FBI, DEA, CIA. I've seen everybody in here. So if you in the vicinity of the Super Bowl, please, don't do nothing crazy, because it's going down. But anyway, with my grandson, I was like, he was talking to me about these Pokemon cards. He had $10. He wanted to get these Pokemon cards, and I said, well, okay, we get the Pokemon cards, but what I need you to do is start thinking about Target, because Target is making money selling Pokemon cards. I said, why don't we start thinking about things like stock? And he was like, stock? He was like, Papa, what is stock? And I was like, stock is something where you can start off with one share, you could buy a share of stock, and then you own a piece of that business. So when people go in and buy Pokemon cards, you would own a piece of all of the Targets all across the nation. So the feedback that I get from people, I told one of my friends about that, and he was like, man, stock at that age, it ain't a big deal. I'm like, let me give you some statistics. I brought a piece of Home Depot about 10 or 15 years ago. The Home Depot stock, when I brought it, it was $27, right? Brought it at $27. I only brought one share because I was trying out something and wanted to get it, so I brought a share, right? That one share, 15 years later, that one share, I think the last time I looked at it was like 180, 175, something like that. So think about this. Had I brought 100 shares, right? I'd have been at $1,700. And that's the way that we got to start thinking, because at our age, I'll be 52 in a few weeks. So we're gonna have a big you know, I ain't gonna have a big party, nothing like that, but I'm just celebrating my birthday. But at 52 years old, I know my time horizon is shorter than my grandson's time horizon, because he's 8 and I'm 52. So if I get him involved at 8, think about what type of legacy I can go ahead and be setting up, so that way when he gets to be 52, he's not really giving a lot of thought to, you know, I don't have, or I wish I would have invested in things in that space. Just thinking about it. Because one thing that we do a lot of thinking about things, but when I'm trying to encourage people to listen to my show is start taking action, taking those baby steps. So a lot of times people tell me the feedback I get is, you know, stock is risky, stock, you know, that's like gambling. But let me tell you something about stock and people. And going back to when I started, and we started off the conversation talking about being a capitalist. People that own stock have a wealth foundation. So when you think about all of the companies that you use day in and day out, toothpaste, toilet tissue, go to the grocery store, you're driving a certain car, you're wearing a certain brand of clothes, you're living in a certain type of house. I guarantee you, if you took the time and go back and research who's making that toilet tissue, Georgia Pacific, Kimberly Clark, Procter & Gamble. So let me ask you a question. Shout out to, hey, Cent, I see you, hey, that's my old supervisor, how you doing, Cent? And I saw those pictures you had posted about being down in the Super Bowl experience, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm down here taking it all in. I'm doing the Daily Bread radio show from the, the Super Bowl experience at the Georgia World Congress Center. So shout out to Cent, Pat Farmer. Hey, you already know. That's one of my biggest fans. I love Pat. And even when I don't do the show, Pat called me out at a death in my family and I couldn't do the show. Pat posted out on Facebook, what happened to the Daily Bread radio show? So somebody comes and say, hey man, you got a post out here. Some young lady wanted to know what happened to the show, but so shout out to Pat. And Jelanda, we go way back. That's one of my childhood friends, went to high school together, so shout out to you all, and shout out to everybody else that's joining the broadcast. But again, just thinking like a capitalist. We have to start thinking like a capitalist. Now to continue that story about my grandson, so what I end up doing, here's a piece of information for you all that you can take and take some action with it. Don't just take it and say, oh man, he was talking about this. Let me tell you how simple this is. Fidelity Investment Company is one of the largest investment companies in the world, right? I'm talking about, they manage multi-trillion-dollar assets, and that's with a T, not a B. Multi-trillion-dollar assets. Now, the thing about having the ability to invest with Fidelity is this, and here's a wealth principle for you. If a billionaire is putting his money somewhere, you should do your research and put a little bit of your money there too. Just think about that for a minute. If a billionaire says, I'm gonna build a stadium and I'm gonna put a football team in it and I'm gonna sell tickets to the game and we're gonna have a Super Bowl, you should be thinking about ways, how can I tap into what the billionaire is doing? So let me tell you what I did for my grandson. 8 years old, my granddaughter is 4. I went out to Fidelity. Now Fidelity changed their parameters because years ago when I used to try to invest with Fidelity, it was when I first looked at it, it was a $5,000 minimum. The next time I looked at it, it was a $2,500 minimum. Now just being fully transparent, at the time, I didn't have $5,000 or $2,500. I was like just barely getting by. So I said, okay, but I'll continue to do my research on my own. Last year, or it was either last year or year before last, 2017 or 2018, they changed their guidelines. Fidelity has zero minimum. Zero. It's a zero minimum investment. So what does that mean? That means you can go to fidelity.com. You can go to fidelity.com, take your $5 that you would have spent on a latte or a cup of coffee or whatever you would spend $5 on, and open up you an investment account. Or you can start thinking about your legacy and be like, wow, what about my kids and my grandkids? So I started with my grandkids, and then I figured I'd work my way up to my kids, because my kids are adults, 28, 27, 25. So I said, I'll start with the grandkids and then we'll move on up to the to my kids. But I went on to Fidelity.com and they have something that's called a custodial account. Now I had already shared the pictures with you all when I opened up the custodial checking account. Well, it's really a checking and savings. A custodial checking account for my grandson. So some people are like, why a checking account? And I'm like, it was free, so why not? I mean, he ain't writing no checks. I mean, checks is gonna be obsolete pretty soon. By the time he started writing checks, they won't even be making checks no more because everything is digital. But I opened him an account anyway in order to put money into it and just start to save, right? That's just me. I mean, you can use it checking or savings account. But with Fidelity, I went to Fidelity.com. You can open up a custodial brokerage account with Fidelity. Custodial brokerage account for Fidelity. And you may be out there like, why would I need to open up a custodial account for my grandkids? Let me give you all some information. If you're listening to this broadcast and you don't have a brokerage account, I'm not talking about your 401k. I'm talking about an individual brokerage account. You should go to Fidelity.com and open you a brokerage account as well, because it's nothing better than taking, say, $100, right? We spend $100 at Christmas, birthdays, all kinds of money for different things. What if you could take that same $100, put it in a brokerage account, and then as you age, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, you get to 65, 70 years old, that money that you put in 2019, it's then grown to a larger amount of money, and that's how you build wealth. You're not gonna build wealth by just work, get a check, and save. You have to take advantage of a vehicle that's gonna make your money grow even though you're not working for it. It's called passive income. So what we have to do is put ourselves in a position to have more passive income. Passive income is when you own assets and that asset is throwing off cash. So some people own rental property. Some people own certain types of metals. Some people own real estate, different types of real estate. It's not just, duplexes and single family homes. Some people own land, right? So when you start thinking about what wealthy people are doing, wealthy people, wealthy people don't work the way we work. We work. I mean, and that's just, we work because the way that we were taught that if you want to make more money, you work harder. That's what we was taught. But the way you make money, you don't work harder. You find a way to invest your money and put your money to work for you. So that way while you at work, you have your money at work. Like, don't have your money laying around like, I ain't got nothing to do, I'm chilling. No, put your money to work. So go to Fidelity, check it out for yourself, check it out for your kids, and then check it out for your grandkids. Now back to my grandson's story, I went ahead and funded the account, and now I went back to him. I said, okay, look, bud, this is the deal. Now I need you to go out and look up different companies and let me know if you find a company that you like Nike, Disney, Netflix, all these different things that you're already doing anyway, YouTube, Microsoft, Apple. Think about it. Kids today are sitting down with this same type of device for hours. They just sitting there looking at videos and YouTube and Netflix, but we ain't owning anything. So if millions of people are gonna be doing that, guess what we need to be? We need to own Netflix. We need to own some Microsoft. We need to own some Apple, some Samsung. There's only two types of phones that I see people have. Let me take that back. It's more than two types of phone, but the majority of people have one or two types of phone, an Apple or an Android. So guess what the play would be? Get a share or a few shares and get your position in both. Get you some Samsung stock, get you some Apple stock. So that way as people buying these phones not gonna get any cheaper. They're not getting cheaper, they're gonna get more expensive. The more you go, the older we get, they're gonna get more and more expensive. So why not put yourself in position where you can say, hey, you know what? I own some Apple stock, I own some Android stock, and I'm good. And then think about your grandkids. If you got your grandkids, it don't have to be no 10 shares, 15 shares, like, oh, I had to put 1,500 in there. What if you got your grandkids 2 shares or 3 shares of a certain type of stock? Netflix, Apple, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Disney, any of those stocks, right? At 8 years old. And you left that stock there till they turn 20, 25, 30. Think about what you would have created from that little, because like when I was little, I had a great aunt, and she would always get me savings bonds, right? And they matured, 10-year savings bonds, 15 years and all this. But if we start getting stock, think about it. If we start getting stock and stop with all this foolishness about, oh, the stock market's gonna crash, it's going down, we getting ready to go into, I had a person call me the other day, man, we going into a recession, we going into a recession. I said, you know what, I hope we are, because guess what? I got some money I wanna, I got some money I wanna put in there and make it happen. That's all I'm doing. I'm not, because I mean, you can't do it at our age. At 52, and you're gonna retire at 65, there's no way for you to save enough and maintain your current level of lifestyle and pull it off. Because I'm gonna throw some numbers out to you, and I think I've shared this with you all before. I was talking to a certified financial planner recently. He said in order for the average American to retire at 65, they need to have some type of account. I didn't say what type. He said they need to have some type of account with at least, listen to this number, with at least $1 million in that account. They said if you have $1 million in that account, and that account is gaining 5% interest every year. So you got $1 million, 5% interest is $50,000, right? So now you got $50,000 worth of payments that's being generated through this account that you have. Could be a 401k, could be an individual brokerage account, could be real estate, but you need something at least at $1 million. So let's take it down. So say if you don't have $1 million, right? You say, well, I don't have no $1 million. Okay, so let's take it down to $500,000. You got $500,000. You're gonna need to be getting 10% interest on $500,000 to still have $50,000 coming through the door. 50, right? I'm just giving you some hypotheticals. And you might be saying, well, man, things been a little tight. I really don't have it like that at 500,000. So then at that point you say, okay, maybe you gonna have $100,000, $150,000 at retirement. Now, all of this is realistic, and like I always challenge you all on the Daily Bread Radio Show, whatever I tell you all, make sure you go and research it. And I'm gonna throw a number out there, and you can go and research it. The average 65-year-old in the United States at retirement age, the average person that's retiring at the age of 65, on average, they have they have $60,000 in savings. $60,000 in savings at 65. So you might be thinking to yourself like, man, 60,000, how long? So the question becomes then, at 65, if you're gonna retire at 65, how long is $60,000 going, how long is that gonna last? I mean, that ain't a whole lot of traveling. That ain't a whole lot of coming to no Super Bowl events. That's not a whole lot, right? So we have to put ourselves in a position where we can leverage things. So you might have 60,000, but what if you had $20,000 that was working for you, and the stock was 25, and now all of a sudden it skyrocketed. It went to 75, or it went to 100. And some of the people on this broadcast, they remember that. I worked for 2 companies. United Healthcare, in 1991, United Healthcare was 53 cents a share. I wasn't working at United Healthcare in 1991, but I know some people that work, right? United Healthcare was 53, listen to this, 53 cents a share. Today, United Healthcare, that same share of stock, so say a person bought 1 share in 1991 for 53 cents. Today, that same share of stock is worth $265 for 1 share, from 53 cents. So you can imagine if you had 100 shares, 1,000 shares, right? 1,000 shares and 53 cents is only $530. But if you had 1,000 shares right now, you would have $250,000 in your account. So we just have to make sure that we're starting to play and practice in that space, because one of the things that we're charged with is, if we have kids and if we have grandkids, we have to show them how to manage money, how to manage assets. Because even if you leave them a lot, you know, in your will, or you got a large life insurance policy, if you don't teach your kids how to manage money, what are they gonna do with $100,000, a lump sum $100,000 check from your life insurance? They're gonna burn through that money. But if you start teaching them now about assets and investing, and what's a good investment, what's a good return on your money, what's a good thing to do with your money, then the likelihood that your legacy will continue to have money is more, I guess you would say, is more advantageous, or the likelihood is higher than if you don't. Because if you don't, it's like anything else. It's like if you don't teach your kids how to read or write, just think of what's gonna happen to them when people start to put things in front of them and we're not stressing education. So it's the same thing with money. So that was my first topic. We have to get to the point where we start to think like we sitting out thinking like a capitalist, not, oh, I want to buy this or I want to buy that. You should be sitting out thinking like, what can I sell? Like, what can I come up with in my mind and sell it? And the reason that you know it's possible is why. And we talked about this 2 weeks ago, right? Things like Turo, things like Uber, things like Lyft, all of that's commonplace now. People say, I just get an Uber. They say it so easily. 5-10 years ago, people wouldn't even talk about no Uber, right? So the next topic I want to talk about, because it keeps coming up, and I think it's very important that we have to talk about it, is credit. Credit is something that I've been stressing on the Daily Bread radio show from day one. Credit makes things happen. Credit makes things happen. Credit gives you the ability to buy things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to buy, meaning you don't have to have all of the money up front, but if you got strong credit, you can get into different positions. So my challenge to you all in 2019 is to position yourself where you really understand credit. Like you understand credit. Like, I'm in the World Congress Center, I could probably just grab a couple people and just to show you that a lot of people don't really know the components of credit. I'm gonna look, as soon as I get somebody that I can get their attention, I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask them for y'all. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna do a live survey right here on the Daily Bread radio show to see if somebody could tell us the 5 components of credit. Now, hopefully we gonna get a willing subject pretty quick. Here's a brother right here. How you doing, brother? How you doing? What's good, man? Hey, doing good, brother. I'm doing a show. My name's Joaquin Thompson, and I'm the host of the Daily Bread radio show. Okay. And what's your name, brother?
Robert McNair.
Robert McNair?
Yes.
All right, Robert, you enjoying the NFL experience?
I have.
You have?
I brought my sons down and wife, and we've had a great time.
Okay, you had a great time, right? Seeing all the different things, Lombardi Trophy, all this different stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Where you from originally?
I'm from Georgia.
Oh, you from Georgia?
I'm from Georgia.
You Grady baby?
No, I'm from
South Georgia?
South, well, not really South, it's Middle Georgia.
Middle Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Countryside.
Hey, that's right. Hey, but we doing a survey. I do this show every week, and the show is about personal finance, right? So, not to put you on the spot, but I just want to ask you a question, right? And I'm not going to put you on the timer, so you can take your time. Can you tell me, like, do you know the 5 components that go into a credit score?
Payment history.
Okay.
I can't. I don't
Drawing a blank.
Huh?
Drawing a blank?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Credit. You see, credit worthiness. Say that makes up the credit.
That makes up, because like your overall score, like say your overall score is 700 or 750.
Well, I mean,
it's 5 components that go into that.
Okay, the inquiries, the credit worthiness, the late payments, on-time payments. I mean, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So let me change gears. So you say you brought your son out to the NFL experience, right? How old is your son?
I have two.
Two sons.
13 and 15.
13 and 15. Okay, so we're gonna ask a different question. Do you think it's important for schools or individuals to expose our kids, especially our kids, to understand credit and personal finance?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And why do you think that's important?
Because, I mean, I'm give a bit of information. I'm 52 years old.
Man, I'm 52. You ain't got to say, man. You're. Did y'all hear that? He said, "Oh my,
Hey, man.
look, man. Well,
Hey.
I'm 52.
Hey.
I'm 52 and loving it."
Hey, I am too. I am
Okay,
too.
all right.
But I'm saying is, I grew up, nobody taught me or nobody discussed with me the importance of credit. You know.
Can't turn your phone while recording. All right, I'm with you.
No one expressed to me the importance of credit.
Okay.
You know, so I give my boys an allowance every week, just so that I can teach them about money, the value of money. I
Wow.
can work for you, with you, and against you.
Wow.
You know, so and credit is a major part of that. You know, I mean, if you got credit, you really, I mean, you need money, but if you got credit, that's more powerful than money. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
That's what the topic is tonight. That's what we was talking about.
Exactly. So I'm teaching them, you know, to be credit worthy.
Okay.
You know, so when they finish school, go on to their different endeavors, then they'll go into it with the good credit, so they can try ideas. I mean,
Right.
I teach them entrepreneurship. Although I'm not an entrepreneur, I teach them entrepreneurship, and I know credit and credit worthiness is a major part of that entrepreneurship.
Man,
You know,
that's
so-
awesome. That's awesome, man.
So, you know,
And that's, I mean, see, that's what we talking about. Like in our community, we got to get in and we got to teach them while they're young. So that's why instead of them just buying Jordans and buying all these different phones and getting apps, it's like, bro, what you gonna do with this money?
Exactly. I give them money every week. I give them incentives to get more money. I have a base salary. I give them. I'm not lying to you.
So you got you. So you didn't incentivize them. So they got a base salary.
Yes, and
So what's the how does the incentive work?
And bonus. This man think I'm playing with me. This man think I'm playing with
Dawg
him.
said this ain't no game. Did y'all hear that? He said incentives and so tell me how the incentives and the bonuses work.
Okay, the incentives work with stuff they got to do every week, you know, on a day-to-day basis, every week, week-to-week basis. You know, doing the chores, doing the homework, you know, and you know, all that stuff. If you do that without me telling you to do it, you know, if you see the trash in the trash can, it needs to be taken out to the dumpster outside.
Right.
If you do this without me telling you to do it, if you do this on a continual basis, you know, like washing the dishes, you know, clean up behind yourself. Don't leave your shoes downstairs. You have a room for that.
Right.
You know, doing all this stuff, and I evaluate it on a weekly basis. So if they continually do it, I'll give them $5 incentive. I give them a $10 base salary.
Okay, $10 base, and then if you do things without me telling you,
That's $5 more.
that's $5 more.
Okay, now and then we go on the bonus thing, which that goes into their schoolwork.
Okay.
You know, if they go and say this 9 weeks coming up,
Right.
and they can show me all A's, and if they're not all A's, a B or whatever, and you can explain to me why it's a B or C.
Right.
You know, then
Not like an effort, but just something happened.
There you go. If you can explain to me that, then that's another $20 bonus. That's a bonus. That's their bonus.
That sounds like the job, right?
Hey man, look here, man.
That sounds like
I mean, come on, man.
man, you laying it down because you
So-
telling them, you really confirming what we've been talking about. Because what I was sharing with my listening audience is that
Right.
not only do we need to have a base salary, not only do we need to have an incentive, but then we take it a step further and say, okay, I'm gonna open up a brokerage account so that way instead of them buying Jordans, they're buying Nike,
There you go.
right?
There
They
you
buying
go.
Nike stock,
There you go.
right?
There
So
you
we
go.
buying Nike stock, we buying YouTube stock, we buying Netflix stock, we buying Android or Samsung and Apple stock.
Right. Okay.
Like we ain't just using the phone, right?
Right.
We buying part of ownership into the company.
Sounds good. Sounds
So
good.
that's when you get powerful,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Right? So at 13 and 15, they got to share stock. So when they get to be our age, 52, right? They have some bread.
Oh yeah.
They have some bread.
That's my oldest one, 15. That's my 13-year-old right there.
Man, those some big boys too. You better get them over, man. Look, hey, man, we need to go. I gotta go. We got to go get some contracts signed. While we get these NFL people in here.
They don't play football.
They go. This mom.
They don't play football.
They ain't got to play football. They can own.
Okay.
We ain't playing no more football. We done playing football.
Are you talking about contracts?
We talking about ownership.
Okay.
We talking about owning things, right?
We building entrepreneurs, building business owners.
Yeah, we building business owners. We through being football players, right? We want to be some Jerry Joneses,
That's
you
right.
know, Arthur Blankses, that type of stuff. But see, the family's all here, and I mean, everything that we break it down. And what we was talking about, Mom, is me and your husband was talking about. This is a show that I do every week. It's called the Daily Bread Radio Show. And every week I talk about different topics related to personal finance. So tonight's topic was about credit and the importance to start teaching our kids how to think like capitalists, right? So we in the NFL experience, so they got all this stuff in there for us to buy. To your point, right? Like, they don't play football, but if you walk through here, they got something. You can buy cleats, jerseys, hats, shoes, all kinds of stuff, right? But what we trying to do is teach our kids to say, okay, instead of me just buying Nike, instead of me getting some Jordans, how about I buy some Nike stock? Ooh. So when you go to school now, you like, look, man, you got the new Jordans. Like, yeah, you got the new Jordans, but guess what? I got the new Jordan stock. So go and keep buying all them Jordans, because I love when they buy, because we keep making money. So that's what we're starting to get into now, and just teaching our young people how to think like capitalists think, because that's the way capitalists think. They don't think about buying things. They think about, what can I come up with that somebody else need, like toothpaste, toilet paper, cars, houses, and provide that for the masses, and then people buy it and then they make money. So that's what we do. We educate, and that's the motto of our show, is we educate, motivate, and elevate. So that way when these young men get to be 25, 30, then they know something different than what was taught to us. Like me and your husband, we 52. He was start studying when he said 52. But I was like, I'm 52. But nobody told us about this. We had to learn and go through all of this bad credit, repos, bankruptcy, tax liens, all this, and come full circle like, okay, now I can get a breather. But their kids, like Arthur Blank kids ain't thinking like, they ain't worrying about that. They thinking about something, and they the same age. They 13 and 15. Yeah. So we got to start thinking the same way that they think, so that way we could be in the game 15 years from now. So that's all we doing. Mom looking like, I got a card for y'all too. Look at that. So that's what we doing on today. We had the NFL experience. I know, Coco, I see you just jumped on, man, and we've been having some awesome conversations here. Ladies first. Look at you. What I'm gonna do with him, man? I pulled a card out again. Man, you messing me up, bro.
Hey, man.
You messing me up, man.
It's all love.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Man, yeah.
Hey, make sure y'all tune in every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. All my information on the card.
Okay, I got you.
Just hit me on email or check out the website. And we're going to start a class this summer for young people where we're going to teach them about credit. We're going to teach them about investing. And I was just sharing with the listening audience, I got an 8-year-old grandson and a 4-year-old granddaughter. And Fidelity, you all can check this out when you go home. Fidelity has...
They have an investment.
Right, and it's zero minimum. Meaning you can invest as little as $1 really and open up an account. It's called a custodial account for both of your sons. And again, that allowance you're giving them the base, they got their incentive, and then they got the bonus. So when they get that, they put it into their brokerage account. Now they can go out and buy a share of stock for Nike, Disney, Apple, Android. So that way,
Fidelity has.
yeah, go to fidelity.com.
Fidelity.com.
Look at these men. Y'all want to see some billionaires?
So you can start doing.
See these billionaires? Say, hey, what's up? These some future billionaires.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we do. We start one family at a time and keep moving. So that's what I did. I opened one for my 8-year-old grandson, because he was on me about these Pokemon cards. I was like, nah, bro, you need to own some Target. You own some Target, and then you can get Pokemon cards the rest of your life.
There you go.
Yeah. That's what we doing. But y'all stay in touch with me, man. It was a pleasure meeting you all. And continue to enjoy the NFL experience. All right, thank you. See what I'm saying? That's what we doing out here, man. We helping people, we educating, we motivating, and we elevating. We educating, we motivating, and elevating. And you see what I was talking about. So if you go back to the broadcast and you think about what we was talking about, I asked him a simple question. What's the 5 components of credit? He said, oh, shoot, man. He was like, dog was like, oh, shoot, man. Oh, man. Pay on time. But the story is this. Here's the narrative that we got to change. If we don't know the components that go into a credit score, right? If you don't know the components, it's no way for you to manipulate the components to increase your credit score, right? There's no way for you to do that because you don't know the rules of engagement. It's like going to a casino. If you don't know blackjack or how to play blackjack or craps or 3-card poker or Texas Hold'em, then the house always has you. The house has you because the house knows how to play. They know the rules. So what I'm expressing to you all now is like, we have to start to teach. Not only do we have to learn the rules, we got to teach it to our kids. So them 2 young brothers, 13 and 15, they the perfect age, 13 and 15. Just think about if they went through the Daily Bread summer camp that we're going to have coming up this year, where it's going to be a week-long camp, and we're going to teach personal finance. We're going to start off with credit, savings, budgets. We're going to talk about investments. And when these young people come out, when they finish this program, not only will I have already taught them about these different components of personal finance, but also when they come out, they're going to have a checking account and or savings account, because the parents may not want them to have a checking, they may want them to have a savings. Okay. They will have a bank account, they will have a brokerage account, and they will understand the power of starting to save. And they will know the components of credit before they get to college. Or even if they don't go to college, before they turn 18. So that way we can change the mindset and start thinking like capitalists. So we have our own, Super Bowl experience and start teaching things. And remember, the thing that I'm sharing with you now is like, we have to make sure that we express this to younger people. I have a big event, just had a proposal, and I'll post it out on Facebook. I was just given a proposal, approval for the proposal to do a seminar at Morehouse College, right? March the 7th, we're doing this seminar at Morehouse College. Now, the reason that's important is this. Morehouse is going to be the first college to experience this type of program. So think about this. I've done 88 shows, and each show was an hour. So I've done, 880 hours or 88 hours of programming, right? That I got to condense down into 1 hour. 88 hours into 1 hour. Now, the thing that's going to be powerful about that is this. I'm going to expose them to some things that they should have been exposed to while they was in college. The average college student is going to spend about $150,000 over 4 years to get a college degree. But the reality of it is, the majority of students that are graduating from colleges today are either being unemployed or underemployed. Unemployed or underemployed. Chuck Grover said, Joaquin, you bad boy. When you come through the crib, I want to have lunch. Oh man, hey, anytime, Chuck. You the homies, man. You the homies, bro. And I like them, not to divert, but Chuck, I want you to keep praying for this show, man, because the way you pray and put it out there, man, it inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. Because you may be praying for one thing, like Jacksonville. I want to pray for the crib too. I want them to stop all that gun violence and all of this. But here's one thing about crime that a lot of people don't talk about. 91%, listen to this now, 91% of the crimes that are committed in the U.S. has some kind of tie back to money. Think about it. Burglary, carjacking, people who strong arm you, people who got done robbing banks, armed robbery, all these different things, right? Breaking in houses. What do people want? People just want to have some more money. If people had the ability to make more money and we taught them how this game went early on, you could take a kid, teach them how to make money. If a kid making money, let me ask y'all a question. if you taught a kid how to make money, and I got a friend of mine, me and him doing this experiment. If you teach a young man like these kids that we just saw, 13 and 15, how to make $200 a week at 13 and 15, $200 a week at 13 and 15. So that means $800 a month. Money that they're not getting from their parents, money that's not coming from hurting nobody, right? Do you think the crime rate would go down if all them kids had access to $800? But the reason crimes are being committed is everybody want to have nice things. Everybody want Jordans. Everybody want Timberlands. Everybody want a nice house. Everybody want a nice car. Everybody want a nice crib. But everybody don't have the same access. So when you don't have access, people get desperate. When people get desperate, they do crazy stuff. So my role is to bring people in, teach them. I'm going to start teaching young people. And it's going to be a charge. I'm not going to always do it for free. Because one thing about when you do things for free, people don't value free stuff. I give away free stuff all the time. Help people, do this, do that. I do it all the time, but the thing that I'm starting to find out is this. People don't value free things. They have very little value for things that are free. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna charge a nominal amount. It's gonna be cheaper than a pair of Jordans. How about that? It's gonna be cheaper than a pair of Jordans. And what I'm gonna do is all the high schools, all the colleges. I'm gonna start off right here in Georgia where I'm at. High schools, middle schools, and elementary schools. My grandson is 8 years old. I'm teaching him already at 8. I'm trying to have this joker when he get to be about 15, 16, he gonna be a monster. Because not only is he gonna be learning this ABC mess that they teaching our kids, but he gonna know the difference between principal and interest. He's gonna know how to invest. He's gonna know how to read a credit report at 15. At 15. And when I say people don't know, I'm talking about all kinds. Y'all want me pulling? I'll pull it up. Let me see if I got 15 minutes. I'm gonna look for another person. I'm asking the same. You see how that brother started stuttering? When I said, hey man, what goes into a credit score? Everybody want a strong credit score. I want a 750. I want an 800. Okay. But if you don't know the components, how you gonna do it? That's like saying you want to make spaghetti. You don't know it take pasta. That's nonsensical, man. I'm gonna pull somebody else in. I'm asking the same question. We gonna see I might put some money on it this one. I might say $20. I'm gonna look for somebody. They lurking around, asking the same question. But I mean, it's very important for us, and just think about how much power we would have when we start teaching our kids and our grandkids about money. When we start teaching them not just how to buy, they know how to buy already. They 5 and 6, they know how to buy. Give me this, give me that. Let me get this, let me get that. So what we got to do is start thinking. And the thing about it is, one of the topics for tonight's show, and I want to break this out before we get away. One of the topics of tonight's show is this, and this is sobering, right? The African American economy. And when I say the African American economy meaning African Americans are spending money in this country. It's estimated to be, listen to this number, 1.2 trillion with a T. 1.2 trillion with a T. But we just said the average person, when they retired at 65, has $60,000. But that wasn't the average African American. That was the average person in America. So I would venture to say, for African Americans, more than likely we probably have less than that, right? Because of the way that things have been positioned for us historically. And I was just talking to my son about this last night. My son's grandmother, my mother-in-law, right? She's at a certain age. She's in her 80s, right? If she's in her 80s, you only got to go back another generation. Like her parents, that's slavery. That's you in range of slavery. 1865, that's 2 generations. We didn't say 2,000 years like the people in Asia, right? In China, Japan, talking about 2,000. I said 1865. That was no time ago. That's 2 generations ago. That's no time. His grandmother is in her 80s. So think about his grandmother. So his great grandmother, boom, she right there. If she's not in slavery, she knocking on the door. She like, hey, I'm right there. I just got out. So I'm saying that to say, man, God is like really blessing me with meeting some powerful people. Now let me give you all a plug. Next week, Jerome Hawkins, I see you on Karen. Love you all. Pat Farmer, Chuck Grover. Next week, I'm bringing a sister on next week that's so dynamic. So dynamic. I'm not gonna tell this sister's story. The only thing I'm gonna tell you is this: if you're a man or a woman that either wants to get promoted in your company, you want to advance your career, or you want to improve your business, you do not want to miss this sister next week. You do not, listen what I'm saying, you do not want to miss this sister next week, because she is a monster. I'm gonna tell you this one thing, and then you're gonna be like, oh snap. When she told me this, I said, girl, you are an animal. This young lady had an associate's degree. So when you start talking about when you want to do something, this sister had a associate's degree. Papa, what's happening, boy? What's going on? I'm down here at the NFL Experience, man. Trying to get me a job with the NFL, man. But, you know, these jokers, they shady. They looking for football players. I'm trying to own something, man. I ain't trying to be I'm too old to be a football player, but I ain't too old to own. I can own all day. I'm trying to get owned at the NFL Experience. But this sister, man, you gotta, Frank, hey Pop, you gotta have your daughter on next week. If you all have daughters, granddaughters, sisters, this sister had an associate's degree. Listen to what I'm saying to you. She had an associate's degree and advanced from an entry-level position to a senior, listen to this now, a senior executive level position with an associate's degree. That's unheard of. I'm not talking about no director level. I'm talking about the senior VP of branding for a large corporation. She's a monster. So what she did was, she took what she learned in corporate and then she started a company. And her company she dedicated her company into showing young women how to take certain steps to advance in their careers and brand themselves. How they can have a brand in their career, like a brand like McDonald's, Starbucks, Netflix. How they can have like the Dallas Cowboys, since we're in the NFL Experience, like the Dallas Cowboys, they have a brand. This sister is you do not, listen to what I'm saying, you do not want to miss this. If you know a young lady, I told her I got 2 daughters and a son. I said, sign them up. She told me how much, I said, man, sign them up. Because let me tell you something about brand. If you have a strong brand, I don't care where you work at. If you have a strong brand, meaning you show up on time, you outwork everybody, your shirt tucked in, you speaking articulate, you speaking their language, we're gonna give you the key deliverables. I'm like deliverables. We're gonna give you the key deliverables that are on point for our strategic forecast for 2018 and 2019. When you start speaking the language and you come and you tight, your nails right, you got there, you groom tight, you always got, hey, and if you don't know, this lady said, listen to this. She said, when I went to interview, I went and spent, she said, I'm not talking about I'm rich. She said, I took my money and invested in me. I hired an interview coach. She hired somebody to coach her on how to interview. She spent money for that. It wasn't cheap, but guess what? I said senior executive with an associate's degree. She is bruh, and this is just God. I mean, God bringing these people to me, man. Me and her had a very, very deep conversation yesterday. She's gonna be on the show next week. Man, put it on your calendars, put it on your phones. Tell everybody, like, man, next week, it's gonna be a sister in here. She's gonna be phenomenal. We got like, we got 5 minutes left. It's getting a little late. I was looking for another victim to see if somebody can tell me the 5 components of a credit score. Do y'all think it's just us, or y'all think it's somebody else? You want to try? I'll try somebody else. Let me This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get mobile on y'all. We about to go mobile. Let me grab my coat. We're gonna get mobile. Man, we had an awesome show tonight, man. See that NFL experience? They throwing the balls back there. Let's see if we can get somebody, man. We gonna go mobile now. I think I got everything, man. I love this show. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we doing it. And it's because of you all, man, that I do this. You know what I'm saying? It's because of you all. Look at this, man. Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? You come down through here. Bada, 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 bada.
Stay humble. Stay humble. That's one. Take care of yourself tonight. Went off the field. Went off.
Bro, that's what we do. I'm giving y'all, look, I know all y'all couldn't be here, so I'm giving y'all the tour, bro. I'm giving y'all the tour. Y'all want me to, I'm gonna hit somebody else up, man, and see what they got there talking about. See what they can get on. I'm gonna get me another person. Ask them real quick. We gonna go through here. Man, I'm trying to show y'all let me see if I can get y'all on this Lombardi trophy. Get y'all on some of this bedazzle up here, man. Look at these goddamn Super Bowl rings, man. We gonna get y'all. Man, I'm telling you, man, awesome show is just incredible. Man, you see that law enforcement? They said don't come in here with that plane, boy. Don't come in here with that plane. They putting them things on you down here, boy. They got them AR-15s. Them AR-15s on deck, boy. I'm trying to tell you. See? You see that? See, you don't know that credit score, though. I'm trying to tell you, man, we got to get these kids on it, man. They out here spending so much loot, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm about to ask somebody real quick, like, about this credit score. What's happening, bro? Hey, man, I'm good, bro. Hey, man, quick question. My name's Joaquin Thompson, man. This is my podcast I do every week, and we talk about personal finance, things like credit, budgets, making money, things of that nature. So we doing a quick poll. No pressure, right? Can you tell me the 5 components of credit that go into a credit score? There's 5 parts that go into a credit score. You don't know? Hey, let me get you a card, bro.
Got a Saints fan in the house.
Not my MARTA card. Hold on. Don't take my MARTA card. No, I do this, man, because we just trying to help people
out
out.
With the Falcons fan. You better be careful.
There's a card every Thursday, man. 8 to 9. Check me out, bro.
You better be careful.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm just, bro. I'm just. That was like, shit. He's like, I want to speak to you, but when I hit him with that, it was kind of like I was a goddamn popo. Excuse me, sweetheart. That's how he was feeling. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm feeling, man. It's like we gotta help each other, man. We gotta help each other, man, and put ourselves in position where we can prosper, man. Let's get over here and show y'all some of this real. I don't know if we can. Let's see if we can get. Oh, let's go on this side. Everybody piled up. Let me show y'all how to do this called a hack. Like if you ever want to see something, somebody do something, let me show y'all how to get to it, man. Let me show y'all how to, they got Snoop up here. This the NFL Network with the D-O-double-G. All right, Pat, I'm gonna put you up on game now. You wanna see this? We gonna show, you see Prime back there? I don't know if that's a good one, but that's Prime back there. Prime back there doing his thing. NFL Network. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad angle, huh? I wonder if we can get some more people, man. See if we can hit it with the credit score thing. Let me see if it work over here, man. I wonder if we can get somebody else. Y'all see Prime back there? That's the NFL Network. Y'all can turn it on, see what's happening. I'm gonna see if we can get another person, man, answer this question. see if they know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But hey man, I hate that. We ain't gonna run over, man. I ain't gonna do that to y'all, but I'm gonna say something to y'all tonight, man, that this the truth. This the truth. Let me come over here where it ain't as crowded, man. We can do it like here. You know what I'm saying? We do it like this, backdrop. Hey man, if it wasn't no you, it wouldn't be no me. Just know that. You know, I got the new cards on deck. We ain't got the new cards. Bam. That's for all the people who say, oh man, I don't know. Look at that. I don't know what a credit score is. I don't know how to do that. This guy over here laughing. I bet if I ask him them 5 components, I bet he'll stop laughing if I ask him them 5 components. You think it only work on certain people? I think it work on everybody, man. I think it work on everybody. I'm gonna do it one more time. Y'all want me to do it? Hey man, we need to hook up for the. Hey dog, I'm here. Just call me. You see where I'm at? I'm here. I ain't going nowhere, man. Oh, you can get on stage? I said, oh, you have to go on the other side. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go on here, man, and let me say this to y'all, man. This real talk. Hey man, if it wasn't for y'all, man, I gotta ask them, bro. You think they know? You think they know, man? Oh, you got the Jaguar jersey? You from Jacksonville? Hey man, hold. Check this out, y'all. Check this out, man. Hey man, he representing, bro. But he was scared. I was about to ask him that question, man. He ran off. But yeah, man, I think that I'm thinking that sometimes they think it's just us, man, but it ain't just us, man. People out here hurting, man, and they trying to play it off like that ain't what it is, but that's what it is, man. So the only thing I'm trying to do is be on purpose, bro. Be on purpose. We got some banging stuff coming in 2019. The show, next week, definitely Maya Dukes. Maya Dukes, man. Check out MayaDukes.com. You can check our website out. She's gonna be our guest next week. She's a pure D animal. So hey man, y'all have a great weekend, man. We're gonna finish doing it up real big here at the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna ask nobody else about them 5. Every time I say that, oh, here goes some young cats too. I want they know. I'm gonna ask them, man. Hey, what's happening, bro? Yeah, man. Y'all got a minute? Y'all ain't no security in them, right? Y'all ain't gonna get in trouble. All right, check this out. They gonna close the show out, man. What's y'all name? Kobe. Oh, like Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
My grandson named Kobe. That's what's up.
Chase.
All right, Chase. How old are y'all?
21.
21 and 21. All right, who got 5? I'm betting. I got $10 on them. Frank, somebody put something in. I got $10 that they know it. All right, here go the question, bro. Y'all in college?
Yeah.
What school?
UGA.
All right, y'all are UGA. Todd Gurley, the whole 9, right?
Yeah.
All right, here go the question. What's the 5 components that go into a credit score? What's the 5 components? Y'all UGA, 21 years old, man. Y'all spending money now. What's the 5? I'm a microbiology major. What you want to talk about? Anaerobic? You want to talk about anaerobic? Aerobic? What you want to talk about? Staphylococcus aureus? What you want to talk about? Pat said she got 10. She got 10. All right, Pat. I got 10 that days on it. Kobe, what's the 5 components, bro, of a credit score?
Lines of credit, like how many it is, right?
No, what goes into your credit score? Like if you got a 700 credit score right now.
Your past history, right?
Uh-oh. Past history, got 1.
Past history.
Kobe on it. You gonna lose, Pat.
I don't know.
Jason bowed out. He wanted to get out the screen.
I don't know,
Like,
man.
come on, man, you don't know it.
I'm learning right now.
All right, look, all right. Let me ask a different question. I do this every week, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a need at UGA for me to just come in and just say, let me just teach y'all this? 5 components of the credit score, savings, budget, and what to expect after college. You think it's a need at UGA?
Yeah, definitely.
You think we can do something?
Yeah, definitely.
Huh?
Yeah. 'Cause I have no
Hold up. Hey! What's up? What you up to?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just- Oh, see. Boy, look at this. Man, hey, I'm gonna give y'all my card. Hey, Facebook, I keep telling you, we doing it. Hey, we doing the 5-component. We doing the challenge out here. So make sure y'all stay tuned next week. Maya Dukes, incredible. She's incredible, man. So let's stay on it. Oh, we doing it. We doing this Facebook Live. This is our show. You want to do it? You want to do the challenge?
Yeah.
What's the challenge?
You ready?
I don't know.
You ready? You ready for the challenge?
I don't know. My hair's not ready.
Don't worry. Okay, here go the challenge.
What's the challenge?
Here's the challenge. What's the 5 components that go into a credit score? Now she
One
counts.
is your debt to income ratio, the amount of your I know this because I've been working on mine. Let me see. Your debt to income ratio, the amount of credit cards you have open, your credit card utilization.
Bing.
That was only one.
That was only one. You good?
Okay.
All right, we getting there. It's an hour-long show. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. See what I'm saying? We got it. Hey, we gonna work it out though. But next week, Maya Dukes, y'all stay tuned in. We gonna get on it, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all, hey, love y'all, man. And keep it coming, bro. Keep it coming. Hey, and we'll get on it next week. Daily Bread Radio Show, Joaquin Thompson, the host. We signing out from the Super Bowl experience. Be out.